use cases now in the version 2.3 spec, and with PCS 7 version 8, we can finally offer PCS 7 with Profinet as the first DCS system who can offer that. If you see a DCS application, typical structure, you have your terminal bus, you have the plant bus, servers, you have redundant controller, you go down to your field bus technology, can be redundant Profibus and so on. If you want to fit Profinet into this, we have the chance of, first of all, integrate the IOs directly into the plant bus. We can have a redundant controller also with a redundant ring going down to the IOs. You can also have multiple redundancy domains and wireless integration. So this would be now the mechanism of running Profinet as an additional layer or as a field bus system in a process automation application. Safety, as I said, safety is integrated, and from the Profibus Association point of view, it's very easy for us because ProfiSafe is a profile. It's running on Profibus already in a lot of applications, and we just have to adopt this ProfiSafe layer and run it on Profinet. It's a copy-paste. For us, it's very easy. That also means when you have an existing I/O with ProfiSafe I/Os, just replace the interface module from Profibus to Profinet. Nothing else needs to be changed. And that allows us also to run safety wireless. It is allowed by the TÜV. Now we also heard a lot of energy management, energy saving, quite a big topic. And also here, Profi Energy is a profile. And this profile was designed especially on Profinet for energy saving, for energy management. And that is the first communication standard who was defined of using energy savings into automation applications. The requirement also here comes from the automotive industry. There was a big German car manufacturer who did a measurement on his application when they did not produce one single car. And it was very interesting because they still use 60% of their energy consumption without producing a car. That's quite high. And with this demand, in Germany we have a group called AIDA. It's a group with all the German car manufacturers, Volkswagen, Audi, BMW, and so on. They were communicating with the Profibus Association and say, do something against it. And the answer was the standard Profi Energy. And with Profi Energy, you have the possibility to put devices into sleep mode, into standby, and then even on short breaks, you can switch off or standby drives or energy-consuming devices. I will skip now 2 slides because I'm running a little bit out of time. This is the working group in the PI. Also here you can see all the drive manufacturer and different manufacturers are supporting this. We have already products since last year available on the market in order to use Profi Energy. Okay, coming to the end, Profinet gives you a lot of additional benefits. We have the real-time capability, and we even can do real-time wireless. Real-time does not mean very fast. Real-time means precise. So if we say the signal will be within 1 second on the I/O device, it will be there within 1 second, at exact 1 second. So no telegram jitter like TCP/IP. And here I'm also looking into other field bus systems. A lot of you might know Modbus TCP, an example. That already is telegram jittering since they are using the TCP/IP layer. Performance-wise, I just want to give you a small number. 64 remote I/Os can be addressed within 1 millisecond on a standard switch. A total, what one controller can handle is 256 remote I/Os. This is double the amount than on Profibus. The remote I/O data is 1,440 bytes input and output. That is 6 times more than on Profibus. We can do safety up to seal 3, even wireless. Standard switches, there are no IGMP switches necessary, like others are using. Then Profinet is open. There are a lot of development kits available. We have Phoenix Contact, an example, offering a Tiger ASIC. We have Siemens offering the Artec, and we have Hilscher offering a NetX. And based on these ASICs, you can develop your Profinet devices. Profinet has redundancy implemented, as I was already mentioning. Parallel protocols on one network, since it is a standard, because there are also other systems available which are proprietary. They are using a RJ45 cable, but the inside is different. There you need to have an additional layer. Easy migration of the proxy technology and integration of existing field bus systems. And if you know how to use Profibus, you also know how to use Profinet from the engineering point of view. Okay, here are a few more, but I do not want to go through them one by one. Multi-master, that means you can also have like 50, 100 remote IOs or 100 controller on the same network, and an unlimited number of devices. That's what Ethernet is. The internet is the best example. You can have millions of devices on one network. Class A network has 60 million nodes. If somebody can give me a Profinet installation with 16 million nodes, I will give you the golden Ethernet connector, promise. Okay, then we have the same look and feel from the engineering point of view, and Profi Energy as the first protocol and standard which supports energy management and energy saving. And with this, I am at the end. I think it was only 5 minutes, I took longer. So if there are some questions, I think we will have a podium discussion later. I will be around for the rest of the day, so if you have any questions, no problem, just approach me, we can have a coffee and a chat. So for now, I would like to thank you very much for your attention. Thank you for giving me the chance to present, and enjoy the rest of the conference, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's the problem.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to call upon our next speaker, Ms. Divya C. Bhatt, Head Process Engineering L&T, Integrated Engineering Services, to give a presentation on leveraging a learning.
Can be a nightmare. So I hope everybody is live after a long session since morning, full of technologies, solutions, and also things like energy management and stuff. Now you know what we will do is, am I audible? Okay, so what we will do is, we will actually showcase to you how the technologies, solutions, and the various informations that you got yesterday and today can be translated into better projects executed in your plants, and also better running of the operations. So more of engineering in next half an hour. Can I just get a brief view of which are the industries being represented here? Power, I heard big time. Which are the other industries? Pharma? Okay, and chemical? Excellent. Okay, and what about CPG, FMCG? Excellent. You are from where, sir? Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Basically, the topic of today's presentation from L&T IES is leveraging our learnings for the concept, from concept to commissioning in process engineering offshoring. The basic presentation, it has been spread into what we are going to show you is that where the world is moving when it comes to project engineering and operation excellence. And the second part of the presentation will be process engineering offshoring, the way the world is using Indian engineering firms to bring value to their projects and the plants through project execution and using many, many solutions that we spoke about. And finally, some case studies, one from your industry, CPG, and the other from oil and gas. I see a lot of people over there. Global CAPEX movement and trends. The trend, if you look at this chart over here, you will see that the global GDP is moving towards Asia-Pac regions, you know. Almost every multinational, European or US is investing in Asia-Pac. And the reasons are many, but these are some of the statistics. What this means? This means that a lot of investment will happen in our region. However, India today is seeing a lot of investment, but as we move on to the next 5-6 years, the investment in India is supposed to go down, and more investment will happen in China, Russia, Asia-Pac. This means that all the projects will happen in these countries, all the plant operation needs that Siemens and the other systems and the technology spoke about will happen here. So we as Indian companies have to be very, very ready for this global movement. We all spoke about several of these trends. That is, today the need is CAPEX reduction, increase speed to market, OPEX reduction, and also reduction in the carbon footprint. I heard that yesterday. I was not here. Yesterday, I think the green carbon footprint reduction was spoken about in context to the power industry. What do we mean by the to and from of alternate markets? Just here, it's a very important and interesting phenomenon that we are seeing, that today, as I said, Europe and US is moving towards the alternate markets for investments. While they are putting together plants and operations in these countries, they are doing one another thing, and this is important. They are also, so all these chemical, hydrocarbons and CPG and pharma industries are using high-end equipment, which is being bought from European countries or US countries at a very high cost. So while they are setting up their facilities in Asia-Pac, they are also using Indian providers, service providers, to indigenize, cost reduce, cost down the equipment, so that that can be put in the Asia-Pac plants, experimented for 5-6 years for greater productivity. When I say equipment, I also mean technologies. And that will then, from alternate markets, go back after 5 years to US and Europe for the operations management, that is OPEX, cost reduction, productivity enhancement. So that's a very interesting trend that we are seeing. Today, as L&T IES, we are working with the top 25, 30 CPG, chemical, pharmaceutical companies and oil and gas companies, and we'll share with you some of the case studies. That's a very interesting trend that is happening. So I guess we have an opportunity as Indian companies to kind of understand, implement these technologies within our plants, so that tomorrow we can participate in the global action and reaction. Let me just move on how it's being done. So, what I've tried to do is divide the presentation into two parts. That is projects and better execution, and operations and what can be done. If you look at this slide, projects and operations. Projects operations are obviously becoming larger and more complex. Why? As I said again, US and European companies investing, expanding in Asia-Pac. More operations, more plants, more products, more SKUs. So hence, more data, more information, more stakeholders, many more stakeholders in projects, an EPC company, a construction company, many, many stakeholders. And on the operations side, a lot of information, and we'll talk about it. This is a chart on, the typical stage gates, technology development to pre-engineering, and I'm sure these would be the stage gates in most of your operations. Is that right? Okay, I see some heads nodding. So this session is not becoming a nightmare after lunch. Okay, so let us see how the world is moving. When you talk about technology development generally kept in-house, people from pharma would agree. You know, the most of the technology concept product formulation is kept in-house. Then you start the project with pre-engineering and stuff. There is where you are using outsourcing models, that is engineering companies to do your engineering and use the technologies and solutions. Planning, detailed design, construction support, all get into the area where engineering firms are helping us. And then finally, the project closures. What is seen is that across the diversity of these business verticals, you see there oil and gas, minerals, metals, power, chemical, pharmaceutical, food and beverages, CPG, home and personal care. The trend is to make projects more efficient by use of technology and solutions. The trend is to make operations more effective by good asset information management practices. So what is it that we design firms are taking to your world? Basically, our services are heard a lot about analytics and a lot about asset information management today. So what we are doing is, as engineers, we are providing to you solutions, and I think most of the Indian engineering services organizations are doing that. Solutions to do good process simulation analysis in your environment. I'm sure many of you would have heard about HYSYS, Aspen, and Flexim, Extend kind of tools which we are using for process simulation. Then as you move on, the asset information management is another area, and we're going to talk about it. This, projects and management and its engineering. Sir, you are from Hindustan Levers, you said, right? So how would Unilever generally manage a project? Absolutely.
And so that is a project management,
Right, and it would be in different stage gates.
Right from basic study onwards, we used to get involved.
Right.
Until handing over the project and training, hand-holding till the project is stabilized, commissions, and get all the productivities right. So that was an advantage of having an in-house team.
Absolutely. So the trend, you just listen to an industry perspective in India, and the trend today is the same Unilever has created an organization called UNES, and in fact we are working, and Jacobs is working for them to do their project engineering for their global operations. So the trends are moving towards using suppliers to provide solutions, engineering solutions, technologies to the customer. Now, if you see here why, during the basic engineering, they are asking us to do technology selection, option evaluation, and costing. Alternate sourcing is also becoming a very important aspect, which we are bringing to the table. During detail engineering, again, we heard all the technologies and solutions are being implemented. A lot of local content is being added by the Asia-Pac region. So I think this is the way we are managing projects better with technology and engineering expertise. Yes, there are, the topic of today's conversation is lessons. Yes, there are lessons. When we are moving to the Asia-Pac region, we are new in that terrain as Indian design firms, and that leads to risks. And at all times of the project life cycle, we are managing our risks. This is another example of how operations can be managed better with the help of engineering. So I think today or tomorrow we have some sessions on asset information management. Here is what is being done today by your industry in terms of all the way from data processing to data extraction to spare part management, information management, document management, etc. And the tools are traditional tools like SAP, Maximo, and many environments. We will also give you a case study on this to just let you know how global companies are implementing AIM services to their world and increasing productivity and reliability. These are some of the models. Generally on the project side, greenfield and brownfield project models are there. This is an example of a CPG company. The next one is brownfield projects for an oil and gas company. Again, models, the way these companies are working with Indian companies are, an ODC model, 50, 60, 100 engineers. You house with yourself and work for a company, oil and gas major in Kuwait or in Middle East. So these are some of the models. Advantage again, here is a group of engineers who can, spend time, select the right technology, benchmark it for you, and provide it to your facilities and projects. Another example on the greenfield side. Now, coming to the end of presentation, here are two case studies that we would like to bring to the table. Case study one is again from CPG industry. This is a company which is a home and personal care product company. They have 127 plants across the world, and out of which they started engaging us around in 2004, and today we have 400 engineers only doing design work for them. And again, the models that we work on are very similar to what was discussed since morning. There are things like technology-specific models. Suppose, our friend from Siemens spoke about Profinet, Profibus. So, control automation, upgrades and modifications in the facilities. So, there will be a task force who will come to your facilities, assess them, do a benchmarking, and suggest to you how you can improve make your plants more automated and productive, and many other models. Project engineering, operations excellence are some of the areas that we are working for this customer. You'll be surprised that Indian firms like us and many others, in this case, we are working for their 56 plants across the world and providing just that, project engineering and operations excellence activities. The activities, as we discussed, are from plant audits. We spoke about energy management, utility gap analysis. Today morning we spoke about energy management. So I think, since morning when I was listening to these technologies and solutions and activities that companies are bringing to the table, this is a good example of how your industry is kind of picking all these things up, consolidating them, and adding value to your operations. You see here plant audits, costing engineering, then detailed design, basic design, and all the way down to process safety studies, utility gap analysis, control automation activities. Some snapshots of the type of activities. Please note in FY 2009 and 10 column, companies like yours are actually doing global rollouts. You heard about control automation tools and areas. So, global rollouts to make your plants more automated and more operational and productive. This is the case study in the oil and gas terrain, wherein we are doing work for a lot of customers, but this one is one of the oil and gas majors, and we are doing asset information management work for them, and 200 people working for that. Now, this is again a good example in parlance with the TCS presentation, wherein asset information management is getting a good area wherein people are investing to make your plants productive. And I will just, give the mic to my colleague Sundar, who handles our oil and gas practice, and he will just share with you a couple of slides. Also, as I step down, thank you for having us here, ARC. and thank you for giving us the opportunity. During today and tomorrow, we have more colleagues from L&T. If you all have any questions, please free to come to our stall and ask questions. We have Abhay Prasad and Sunil, who are 25, 30 years in control automation area, and then Sundar in the oil and gas area. So please feel free to ask questions, and we would love to answer your questions related to how we can make your facilities more productive. Thank you.